Hello, this is John Reed, SuccessConnect 2015. I'm with James Sinclair, the ubiquitous James Sinclair of Enterprise Jungle. How's it going?
I'm doing good, thanks, John.
You and I are here to talk about a topic that's near and dear to both of us, which is the role of platforms, cloud platforms, and as a sort of competitive advantage, I guess you could say. We have commandeered a deserted room in the basement of the convention center, which is something I always like to do. Well, hopefully won't get kicked out. But what I really want to talk about in the SuccessFactors context is the HANA Cloud Platform. You and I both feel that this could be a major competitive advantage for SuccessFactors, but I think it's fair to say that there needs to be a lot more momentum behind it than I've seen this year. That's my opinion. But what I want to get from you is, first of all, just to step back a little bit, SuccessFactors does have some internal extensibility, which has been known as the metadata framework that allows some customization. Dilemma around SaaS, of course, is that a customer is kind of forced into a lot of standardization a lot of times. Some of that is very healthy, but then there's the question of I have a differentiating process or need, and I can't configure the solution to do it. So then you look at some extensibility options. It seems to me that HANA Cloud Platform offers something that you can't get from other forms of extensibility. Do you agree? And if so, tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree across the board. That's why we joined the SAP kind of ecosystem. That's the market opportunity. We saw these last mile white space solutions on SAP cloud products. And while we're focusing on SuccessFactors, the view was always, wow, if you can extend all of SAP's cloud portfolio using HCP, you can build once and distribute on multiple platforms, and you can scale under a SaaS model. What it's really doing is delivering a very simple and simple and easy in the enterprise context way to deliver these last mile applications to customers in scale. And so to us, that's a no-brainer opportunity as a startup of where do you want to put your chips? Do you want to put them on the company that can take you all the way there? Or do you want to be in the open source kind of freedom movement and fighting to look for a customer?
Right. And what I fail to understand is why there aren't more firms like you out there building these apps, but we'll get back to that. What I want to cover first is you started via some of the HANA startup program stuff, and you had built the Enterprise Jungle application. That's how you and I first met. Right. But what I think is really interesting is that now you've built a number of smaller apps via the HANA Cloud Platform, but those were really the result of intense customer conversations. Tell us about that.
Yes, there's always a view that you know what the customer wants, and you build a product that you are sure the customer is going to buy, and then the customer says, I don't want to buy that. And they tell you what they do want to buy, and they tell you what they are looking at. And so when we started on this journey, we were really trying to build out an application that used the whole scope of the SAP suite. Number one, great demoware. Number two, could show customers the full extent of true extensibility. And it turns out customers are not ready for that, not because they're not ready in their business transformation process, but because you've got HCP, you've got extensibility, you've got MDF. What does it all mean? And so they're on the beginning of this journey. And so what we did is we stepped back and said, well, what can we do to deliver to customers very simple requirements that they're looking for? Alumni, conflict of interest manager, bulk management of something. It's what are the workflows that you need that you feel is a gap or an extensibility opportunity in SuccessFactors is you've got 75 unique back office applications that you are scared to move to SuccessFactors because you don't know what you're going to do with those things. What are you doing in Excel? Right. And those are the ones where the customers totally resonate and totally get it. And from an HCP platform, suddenly it becomes this very simple conversation. Well, of course you need cloud infrastructure. So HCP becomes this enablement platform of when the customer says, great, where does it live? HCP with the rest of your data.
Right. And what you and I have been talking about is how we really don't even need to talk about the HANA Cloud Platform with customers. What we need to talk about is I can build you a kick-ass app, really quick, that will solve a key problem that you can't get by configuring your solution.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the point about HCP. It enables innovation, enables kind of, this opportunity for the sales executive to listen to the customer, hear an opportunity, and then what we can do is we can develop these prototypes in under a week that kind of meet the customer's needs. The customer sees this and is really now focused on, oh, I didn't realize this is what we meant. I heard about MDF, I heard about a custom field, but this is a custom application using my SuccessFactors, framework, links to my on-prem, links to my third-party applications, linked to everything, available on mobile. There really is no other platform on the marketplace that can compete to SuccessFactors when it comes to that. So extensibility is really this not only core differentiator, it's this core opportunity, because all of these apps are going to have markets for more than one customer.
Right. So give us an example or two, because you've told me about some pretty quick turnarounds where the customer will express a problem and then within a couple of days you have like a demo ready. Give us an example of like a certain function a customer might have needed.
Yeah, so I think the most recent one that came in was conflict of interest management. A company in Singapore wanted to be able to manage the annual requirement that all employees have to fill out this 20-question form, but also have an ability to file an ad hoc conflict of interest statement.
And they couldn't do that within SuccessFactors.
No, they couldn't do that within SuccessFactors. Yeah. They were currently using Excel and Word, of course.
Oh, good times.
And really a Google form, I think, somewhere it was in there. But the reality is SuccessFactors is the perfect place for that to be. Employee data, you can auto-complete everything. You can attach it to the employee profile. You can create a framework for administration of that. It's such a kind of perfect place. So we developed that prototype in, I think 4 days. And the customer and the sales rep both got to have their oh shit moment. And I think that's really important when suddenly the customer and the sales suddenly say, I get it. I get extensibility. Forget the technical aspects. It's about the enablement. What does it let me do? The outcome, as Mike Etling kind of talks.
Right. And how long did it take you to turn that around once you found out what the customer wanted?
3 days. Fully working prototype. And that's, reflective on the fact that we're a small company and we're going to compete harder, faster, and better.
Sure.
And also because it doesn't take longer than that.
Right.
And so we've got a dedicated team that just focus on prototypes. And if we can enable the field and enable customers to see value in this, well, that's our route to market. That's our strategy or marketing strategy.
And one of the things I've been talking with you about is it's one thing to say you listen to customers, and I think listening to customers' pain points is always important, but to be able to then come back in a matter of simply days and say, I listened to your pain points and I constructed a solution that addresses them, that must really open some eyes.
Yeah, and we fight for two things. Number one is, we should be able to build anything you ask for within context, obviously, within the 30 to 45 day period. Now, I'm not talking about our alumni module that's massive and is taking, a few months, but I'm talking about these smaller modules. It doesn't need to take A, as long, and B, if you take a small team that's a fast team and a very well qualified team, you can really create results very, very quickly. And I think when the customer sees that, they can be part of that process. This isn't we're going to deliver to you and you're just going to kind of ship it off to us to outsource to build this conflict of interest. You're going to be part of this process. Right. So when they see a great team working on it that's really thinking through it, they're able to be motivated to be part of that conversation as well.
And in terms of a benefit, they got functionality they couldn't have gotten within the software. But then is that going to also be easy to maintain? So as SuccessFactors gets updated, the app still works?
Yeah, so we're doing under a subscription model. So not only does the app still work as SuccessFactors gets updated, but also more importantly, because we're hoping to get more customers for each product that we build, we're going to hopefully build on that innovation and build on that mobility side and build on other features that people want and the administration. And so for each customer, we're able to really say, you're buying a subscription, not buying a product. You're buying a subscription to this kind of journey that we're going on. And when we need stuff and when we need to update stuff, we're happy to do that. And we want to do that. We want to give you the best possible product.
Right. Now, in terms of a differentiator for SuccessFactors, what are your observations in terms of, as sales executives realize, it's not so much like selling HANA Cloud Platform, it's I can sell these apps as a differentiator to help me sell SuccessFactors. Are you starting to see that that's happening?
Yeah, I think you're seeing that happen, and it happens very rapidly because you can come back and say, great, what is the competition offering in this space? What is their comeback to your conflict of interest opportunity or one of the other 50 items in your RFP that are so critical? And so for the account executives, you're absolutely seeing this rapid ability to say, here's the difference, here's how you're future-proofing your solution, here's how you're meeting your future needs, but more importantly, here's how you're addressing some of the legacy issues that you're trying to work out. Here's a second chance to do it right now. It's, you've had a Google form and an Excel spreadsheet for a rather long time, how would you do this in a perfect environment? So you get to open up that conversation about true business transformation.
Right. Are there any other benefits of HCP and apps that you want to get out there before we move on to discussion of what needs to be done?
Yeah, I think it's a very simple process that, of course, the customer wants to know where the platform's going to be, but of course, you're going to put it in the same data center that their SuccessFactors data is going to be. You're going to build it on HCP because it's a very robust and very good platform, and you've got a team behind it building it that are transparent and delivering day on day, and they want to get to this one-click deployment model where a SuccessFactors customer can go to their app store, find an app that meets their region, line of business, industry, and say, get it. And it will automatically do everything it's got to do in provision. And I know there's some storefront issues, but that's the ultimate goal of HCP and the SuccessFactors, and it's going to be fantastic when it gets there.
All right, very good. So we're going to shift gears here, folks, and I'm going to wrap this session up. So thanks, James, for that discussion.